Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wine, Women, and Words. I'm Michelle, and with me, of course, is Diana.
Hello.
And this evening, we have our special guest. We have author Melissa Erin Jackson. Thanks so much for joining us, Melissa.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So, Melissa actually totally saved our rear ends this evening. We had a guest get sick, and we hope she feels better soon and comes back to visit us. And Melissa graciously agreed to step in and give us the opportunity to chat about her book, which I was texting Diana before that I need to read it because it sounds amazing. So it's actually your debut novel, and it's The Forgotten Child, which comes out October 10th. And you just did your cover reveal a couple of days ago, right?
Yes, I did. I've been doing a Instagram challenge all month to lead up to the cover reveal, which happened 3 days ago.
I think covers, I'm always really interested in hearing about how the cover design came about. I have a friend of mine out here that has written several books, and I always love picking her brain about the cover. Were you really involved in the cover design and the final product?
I was actually my cover designer, Maggie Hall, she's amazing. She sends out this really great questionnaire before she starts on a project. So she asked me about themes and if you've got a playlist associated with it, if you've got a Pinterest board. And she hasn't read the book, and somehow with this questionnaire, she completely nailed it on her first try. So all I really had to do was just sort of suggest kind of like tweaking where I wanted like the tagline and how I wanted my name positioned, but the design she had almost immediately. So I didn't have to do a lot of work on my end.
That's so cool. And that was such a cool cover. It feels like it's going to tell me exactly what the book is going to be like. It sets that eerie tone to it. It's a gorgeous cover.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
I've been enjoying some of the arcs that you've been Instagramming or reposting, and it's one of those covers that's perfect for Bookstagram.
Yeah, I was really happy, especially the one that had just like kind of the fall leaves and everything. So I just think it really kind of encapsulated, a big chunk of the book happens surrounding in a forest. So she really was able to kind of portray the kind of creepy forest vibe that I was going for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I feel like Instagram's totally stepped up the book cover for books. That like you can't just get away with a plain book cover anymore. You gotta have that nice piece of art because you want it to get out on Instagram. You want people to photograph it.
And I've been looking at a lot of like just Bookstagram accounts, and I've just been super impressed with just how creative people get. I was like, and I tried mine, and it's like, it took me like 3 days, and I bought all these props and everything. So it's very involved, but I'm very impressed with, how creative people get with covers.
And you had mentioned, we were chatting a few minutes before we went on air, and you said that this story is outside of the genre that you are used to. It's kind of outside of your comfort zone. So how did you get started with the idea and decide to move beyond your bubble?
Well, I usually write fantasy, a lot of young adult fantasy. And I had an agent at one point, and just, if anyone's been on like kind of the query path, like it's a very disheartening thing sometimes. So I had, like I ran into a couple of heartbreak situations. And so I honestly gave up writing for about like a year and a half, 2 years. But, it's one of those things I can't completely ignore. And so I've always wanted to write a ghost story. I've always really been into kind of true crime stuff. Fascinated by serial killers, all that kind of stuff. So just one day I'm just going to run with this very vague idea I have. I didn't tell anybody I was writing it. So I was writing it just for me, and it just poured out. And so my kind of love of writing came back because I was writing something that I just genuinely wanted to work on.
Mhm.
So for some reason, how it worked, I don't know. It took me 3 months and I had the draft finished. So
That's awesome. 3 months. And yeah, that I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm currently in the agent hunt myself.
yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, it's so crushing. Then when people ask, I'm like, it's so crushing. Yeah.
Not great. Not great.
Yeah, no. Last week I had all this crap happening, and in between all of, the rough stuff of life happening,
Mm-hmm.
I had agents emailing me, no, book's not quite right for us.
Yeah, there was after when I was hearing this one, there was, I think, over a course of 3 days, I got 5 rejections, and it was like 3 on the query, 1 on the partial, 1 on the full. And at one point, I'm just like standing in the kitchen, just sobbing. And a boyfriend comes in, he's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, I can't do this anymore." So it's hard. It really is. So, it's, yeah, not great. But
So
writing this got me out of that again.
yeah, it's a rough thing. And so for this book, were you able to get an agent for it, or did you?
I wasn't. I cleared it pretty widely. I got, I think 11 requests from agents. And I actually, I was telling Michelle that I got feedback from a very well-established agent. She loved the characters and she loved the writing, but it's not a genre she represents.
Mm.
So, what can you do? So I just decided that I was going to try getting it out there myself, since I've been getting really good feedback from betas. So hopefully it works. We'll see.
Well, given that you had the experience of working with agents before, it probably gives you a lot of insight to to what to expect when versus someone who's publishing for literally the very first time. Mm-hmm. They're kind of going in blind. So
Right.
That probably gives you a little leg up and calms the chaos just a little bit.
A little bit. And and from friends who are traditionally published, I've seen enough of what goes on in terms of getting a book out there that I had some idea of what I needed to do to give the book the best chance I can give it. So I'm hopefully covering most of my bases. I just hope people like it.
Absolutely. Well, with a cover like that, sometimes you can judge a book by the cover, and it's a gorgeous cover. So, yeah.
Well, I feel like that phrase is almost kind of like outdated now because of like social media and Instagram, especially. I think the cover plays almost just as crucial a part in
Sure.
the initial draw to a book as the story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not. I'm sure the ratio is off a little bit, but the cover, like, you have to have a killer cover. And
mm-hmm.
like some of them I just want to frame. They're just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why I was just. And when I chose this cover designer, I was really scared because you don't know what you're going to get, and then just I saw that cover and like that first batch of 6 she sent me, and I was well, got my cover now. That was easy. She was so good.
I had no idea there were like independent cover designers. I feel like that's someone we should have on the show one day to talk about designing covers.
Yeah.
I think that is a really good idea because there are those independent designers that are out there. And that's something I know in the self-publishing world and even in the indie publishing world, that's something you've got to think about.
Mm-hmm. And I think, in terms of, you always hear about how much it can cost to get, a self-published book off the ground. But I think of everything that you could potentially do, spending money on getting a really great cover and the editing are like the number 2 things. I think everything else kind of go by the wayside, but those are the 2 main ones, I think. So I made sure that cover was great before I went any further.
Absolutely. And you touched on a really great point that with self-publishing, you've got to get the editing down. Because I've seen myself with doing book reviews that there's so many self-published books that would be really great in like 2 more drafts.
Right.
It feels like so many of them are going the self-published route because they just don't want to wait for the query. They just don't want to deal with it. And but there are some like yours, for example, Julie K. Rose, where it's one of those situations where they've tried this the author agent route, the traditional published route, and it just doesn't work for them. Whether it's a personality thing, whether nobody seems to want to sell the book or want to try to sell the book. And so I feel like there's a difference between those two self-published authors that really needs to have that distinction in there.
Yeah. Well, I do think a lot of self-publishers, they rush into it. They really want the book out as soon as possible, and they just get it through as quickly as they can, and I think they do themselves a disservice because there's no rush.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of the art is in the rewrite, and yeah, there's nobody's. You're the only one who's rushing yourself to get a book written, especially if you're going the indie route.
Right, and it's so hard to get your name out there and get the book recognized. Just make sure that you've got the best product you possibly can before you set it loose on the world.
So, and as your pub date approaches, you're in the last 60-ish days, or actually less than that. You're like 40 something, right?
Scary, yes.
What are some of the other things that you're doing to prepare for the big day?
Well, I just started a Goodreads giveaway, so hopefully I can get some people to get some reading of the book in before it actually comes out, and get some reviews. I've got for anyone who pre-orders, I do have my cover designer who's amazing. If I haven't mentioned that before, I got a brochure made because there's a haunted ranch where the book takes place, and there's a map.
Oh, how cool!
I saw that on Instagram. Is that so? That came with the pre-order. How neat!
Yeah. So if people pre-order it, they can get some goodies. And this is the serial killer's house. I don't know if you can see it, but my mom drew it. I'm very proud of her. So doing things like that. And the Instagram challenge was one of the big ones. Just I thought that was a fun way to get people interested in the book, but then also, daily photo challenges are fun too.
They are, and I love how Instagram is the place to go to find the books to read. That's the biggest marketplace to find books. Everybody's talking about their books there. It used to be Twitter for a while, but now it's Instagram, and it's because of the photography of it. And I love it. Absolutely love it. And I love the idea of the photo challenge. I mean, obviously you got our attention. I was like, we were like, we got to read this book. And I hadn't met you or anything until Instagram.
Oh, good. It worked.
I was a little slightly awkward before you got here, Diane, because she was like, so how did you find me? And I had to be like, well, we both follow you on Instagram, which sounds really creepy.
Well, to save face so that I don't seem so creepy, we're also friends with Jennifer Lamb.
Yeah. When you messaged me, I was like, oh, I mean, Jennifer knows them, so that helps for sure.
It always helps to have that third party intermediary there going, they're really not that crazy.
They're only a little crazy.
Exactly. You want a little crazy in the friendship.
Yeah, a little bit.
Absolutely. Speaking of a little crazy, am I the only one drinking wine tonight?
Yeah.
When I'm sad because I don't actually drink, so I have no wine. I know. But my main character is very big on wine, so I'd like to think that she's kind of pure in spirit. So
I'll represent her, and I will drink for her on her behalf. And hopefully for those of you listening and watching, you are drinking like a fish right along with me. And if you are drinking like a fish right along with me, I do hope that you are taking part in our sponsors' wine and Winks Wine. They have great wines that you can get. It's a wine of the month club, not wine of the month club, but it's a wine club. You don't have to sign any contracts. You can stop or go as much as you want. And if you want to support us and our little old show, go to trywink.com/www podcast, and you can get $22 off your first shipment of wine from Wink.
Yes, and I just realized, like, this afternoon, because we just got back from North Carolina and it's been chaos, that I have no wine. So I have, like, my shopping cart, my box on my Wink account, like, all picked out, and I went through, and, like, they have some really good new wines out. Apparently it's their second birthday this month, so they're doing a lot of, like, promos. So they have some really yummy wine that I can't wait to try. So I have to place my order and then get my box. Because the second best type of mail, besides book mail, is wine mail.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think it's tied, actually. I think it's a toss-up.
If you get them on the same day, it's even better.
Like Christmas.
Right? If we could combine the packages and get wine and books together, like, that would be great.
Right? Yeah, totally down for that.
So, and I know Diana mentioned to me, and I also chatted with you a little bit, that you're also involved in Pitch Wars.
Yes.
So I know Diana told me about it, and I swear I do listen, but I don't always retain the information. So can you tell us a little bit about Pitch Wars and the whole idea behind it?
Sure. So the goal for Pitch Wars is traditional publication. There's a set of mentors broken up into age categories. So there's middle grade, young adult, and adult section of the contest. I'm doing a young adult this year along with my friend, Lindsay Duda. And I think it's 2 days this time. Yeah, 2 days of people submitting their manuscripts. And then we choose one that we would like to work with. So over the course of, they made it a little longer this year. So I think it's 3 months of revisions to get it as polished as possible. Then there's also in February next year, there's a showcase for agents who can read the pitch and the opening page, and then request material. So the hope is to take a manuscript that has a lot of potential but needs some work, and us getting it as clean and polished as we can get it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking young adult, light sci-fi, and kind of mystery thrillers this year. Starting in 4 days. I'm very excited.
It is exciting. It's a fun thing to do. I recommend it for anybody who's just starting out in the pitching process. Mm-hmm. I did it last year because I did some agent pitches. I did Pitch Wars, and even though I didn't get selected, I think it was a really great experience just to be able to do it. And then I took my book back, did some revisions, and now I'm, massive revisions, and now I'm like out there pitching agents again. Yeah. And yeah, I've got a friend who's plans on doing it, and I think it's a great program just to get your feet wet.
Mm-hmm. And
maybe you might be like.
And if you're someone who hasn't done a lot of pitching before, it forces you to write a query letter. It forces you to write a synopsis, which everybody hates. And and a lot of people too, they're sort of making sure that they have revised their manuscript in time to be able to send it to Pitch Wars. Obviously, not everyone can get in, but it's a really great community, so you can meet a lot of other writers, and it kind of forces you to get really serious about getting your book as revised as you can.
Absolutely. And it's nice that you get to work with somebody who's already gotten a little bit of a head start in the field. They're a little further on the path than you are.
For sure. Yeah. And luckily for me, I'm co-mentoring, so when we get flooded, I have help.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, because I could not imagine doing the mentor thing on my own with so much going on.
slightly overwhelmed and I have a partner. So the people who are going at it alone, it's like power to you, because I'm already freaking out. But it's like a good freaking out. Like, I'm really excited. I'm mostly worried I'm going to want to take on like 14 mentees, which I obviously cannot do because I want to help everybody. So it's going to be the problem of narrowing it down to one person.
And that's always so hard. And I'm one of those people who can never make a decision.
Yeah. Well, and then too, as a writer, you know, obviously none of us enjoy rejection. So I don't want to have to essentially reject another writer. I want to take on everybody. So not enough out.
You're gonna be like, I love you. It's really great. It's really not you. It's me. It really is.
Exactly. Well, send it to me on the side. Don't tell anybody.
And just a couple minutes ago, you mentioned writing your own synopsis, which just sounds like torture. Like the idea of taking the book that I'm working on, and this is probably the same for any writer, like collapsing it into, maybe 8 sentences, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, maybe. It just sounds awful.
Yeah. Well, and then with the synopsis, it's a page, but it's the entire book.
Yeah.
Give away the ending. So somehow you have to make it interesting enough that someone wants to read the full page, but then you have to give it all away, and it's terrible. But then the pitch too, on top of that, is the half a page of a summary as well. They're both terrible in their own special ways.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like you've spent all this time focusing on the book, and then you have to sit down and be like, okay, what's my plot again?
What have I been writing about this whole time?
Plot is silly. It's overrated.
Just know that it's a really great book about these really great people.
Why do I have to spoil it for you? Just read it.
Nobody likes a spoiler, so come on. Just
Just read it.
Yeah, but then you better yet, go ahead and publish it. You won't regret it. Yeah.
But then you have to sound like professional about it too, because if I tell someone about my story, it's like, well, there's this girl, and then she finds out that, and then there was a time that she did this thing, but if you back up, right? So wait, rewind before that happened.
I've gone away because I don't want to talk about it. I'll just read it. I don't know.
I think that's going to be my advice for every agent that I have to pitch a synopsis to now. I'm going to be like, I don't know, just read the book.
Yeah. Why is it up to me to tell you what my book is about? That's what you're for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mystery. You're supposed to be mystified. If I tell you, I'm giving it away.
Exactly. They love that when you tell them just read it. That's like their favorite thing to do.
It totally is. You're going to have knocking on your door, banging it down, and wanting to publish your book.
Yeah.
So that could be like essentially my whole query letter. Just read it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So when I submit my stuff for Pitch Wars, when I finally do finish it, that will be one of the things we will work on.
What?
Maybe.
It'll be like in class, like when we were back in school, where I'm just going to hand you my stuff and you just copy what I did. And your book isn't even about Anita Garibaldi. Your book is about The Wizard of Oz. But it's going to sound like it's about Anita Garibaldi. But that's okay. They won't notice.
Like, wait, what? I am so confused.
If you're confused, you should ask for more pages,
Yeah, exactly.
It's all a part of my evil plan. It's all tactical. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of the word.
This is why you need to be drinking wine tonight.
I know.
You can't think of the words.
So, I think we are about to transition over to our book of the month. But before we let you go, Diana, did you have any other questions? I know I kind of steamrolled today, so.
That's okay, because I know this is why I bring you mystery guests and mystery authors, because I know how much you love the genre. So I let you just steamroll with the questions. This is all on you. When we have the historical fiction people, I steamroll them, so you can I let you steamroll Melissa. She was my gift to you.
We're seriously not creepy at all, Melissa. Like, I promise.
It's a little bit of creepy, and I like a little creepy. So you guys.
Okay. Yeah, obviously she likes a little creepy. She wrote a mystery novel.
Yeah, then there's a serial killer ghost in it. Yeah, I'm super creepy.
Well, it's funny because I've been kind of like on this. I mean, I love mysteries and thrillers, and I've really been looking for a book that creeps me out. That if you're a Friends fanatic like we are, I want a book that I can put in the freezer, like Joey does when he reads The Shining and it scares him. But and I haven't really read like a good scary book in a while. But yours touches on two things that creep me out: are ghosts and little children ghosts. Like they are like
as creepy as you can get, for sure.
They are the creepiest of the creepy, and like, ugh. Yeah. I'm kind of assuming your creepy child ghost is not an evil creepy child ghost.
No.
Because they need help.
Yes. But still, even when they need help, it's still a little creepy.
Yeah. I watched one of those like Ghost Hunter or Ghost, I don't know what the name of it is, but one of those like reality ghost shows where they're like, and the ones with kids are just like, why? I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, drinking wine and watching this creepy thing while I have two kids that like to sneak up on me in the middle of the night.
I can imagine you just karate chopping poor Lily.
Oh my gosh. I know one day it's going to happen. And I say this with love and complete sincerity when I say I did not do it on purpose whenever it does happen.
You've been warned.
Like, announce yourself before you stand beside my bed and stare at me at 4 a.m. until I wake up.
No.
Well, we will definitely have to check back in with you on October 10th to see how you're going, and gonna have to pre-order my book because I want all of those goodies that you held up before because they look awesome.
And tell us.
Sorry.
Tell us where we can pre-order the book.
It's on Amazon. It's on Kobo. It's on iBooks. It's on Nook. So kind of all the major ones. If you go to my website, melissajacksonbooks.com, if you go to the book page, all the little links for all of the pre-orders.
Yes, so fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate you popping on with us. And everybody go out and pre-order your books so you can have it ready for October 10th.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So we're going to go ahead and transition over to our book of the month, which is Little Girl Lost. And my copy is not lost, but it's still in the luggage that has not been unpacked yet. Because you have a look of, where's my book?
Yeah, actually, I found my book. Actually, I found the book that I'm supposed to send to our giveaway winner. So hold on, let me grab the book. She is aware that I'm going to be getting it to her, so I'm usually never this late for our books.
It's okay. It's been a busy month.
It has. It really has been. And it's busy, and I want September to be much more chill. I'm using the excuse of our upcoming trip to Seattle to be the reason why we just kind of chill.
Oh, when is the wedding again?
October 6th.
Oh man, last 30-ish days.
I know. Thank goodness my sister has a kick-ass wedding planner because it's just making the whole experience fun for her and for us. We don't have a whole lot to do. I'm like, I'm maid of honor, and I'm like, there's not much I've got to do. Do you need me to do anything? She's like, no. Wedding planner's got it. And I'm like, this is why you're the smart one of the siblings.
See, my wedding planner was my mom, and I mean, she nailed that. Like, it within the time frame that we gave her, she was like on board. But she wasn't planning a wedding across continents, but she was planning a wedding across the country, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think my sister would have been able to do the planning without the wedding planner, given that, you know, she's a whole ocean away right now. Though she will be coming back, and I'm excited about that. But I think, you know, my stepmom is helping, you know, doing whatever planning she can get in on. So I kind of let her take on some of it. She's taking on some of the matron of honor responsibilities because, you know, the bride's mom has got to be able to do some planning. This is their big day too.
Right. This is the day that they've been waiting for, even longer than the bride has been waiting for.
They knew as soon as they were going to get a little girl, they were going to have to take care of the wedding stuff. It's part of the fun.
How's your dad?
He's doing quite well. I mean, he is. If you guys follow me on my personal Instagram, you'll see that his book just came available for pre-order, and that comes out next month. So he's more focused on that.
I actually just saw him tweet for like the first time in forever. And at first I was like, who is this person? And why am I getting a notification about it? Oh, I remember. I know.
Yeah, I mean, your mom is the Wine Women and Words mom, and my dad is the Wine Women and Words dad.
We should have like sweatshirts made or something.
Maybe. I know he would wear it with pride.
My mom would too. She'd be the one where she lives in the community center. They have like a bunch of clubs, like the wine club or the travel club. She'd be the mom to be like, go to one of the club events with the sweatshirt going. And she does this anyway. She tells everyone about the podcast. So we're quite popular among the, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of her community. Well, whatever the name of her community is, we're quite popular.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Mom, Wine Women and Words Mom's community.
It's free publicity.
Love it. Parents are the best when it comes to that.
So proud, so proud. So anyway, where are you in the book?
I am on just starting chapter 12.
Okay, I think I know we had like 7 different bags that we would carry back and forth to the beach with us. And the book is in one of those bags. And I just haven't figured out which bag it is. So I don't know for sure where I am, but I'm around that same time where and so it's just all kind of like, it's at the point where it's starting to come together a little bit, but it's also starting to fall apart a little bit. If that's
starting to get answers.
Yeah.
Answers. And this is the one problem with mystery books for our books of the month. I mean, as much as I love them, and it's, you know, it's a great book for, you know, a mystery book if you need that thriller to get you by for the summer. Going into the fall. This is a nice going into the fall book. But you can't talk about it too much without giving away spoilers.
It is a little difficult to talk about without, like, can't ruin anything. So it's kind of like half sentences where it's like, I'm at that one part with the guy and the girl.
Yeah, girl, you know what happened at this point. Oh my God. Yeah, and that's the hardest part of these things. And so it's like one of these situations. It's almost like last month's book with Shannon. And we couldn't talk about too much without giving away the spoilers. And then when she came on, it was just like spoiler here, spoiler there, spoiler there.
I want to make, you know, those signs that people hold up in like the photo booths that are really popular where it's like cheers or whatever. I want to make signs that say spoilers so I can hold them up.
You know what's going to end up happening? You do that for the show, and then when I edit this out for audio, you're going to have, when you guys listen, you're going to have, when she puts up the sign, I'm going to edit in the voice for the spoilers. You're going to hear spoilers.
It'll be like a little 5-second pause and just like my voice in a super annoying, like, spoiler.
And here I was trying to be all movie phone, like, Spoilers.
Oh, okay. So like the movie phone guy, the preview guy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, my best way I can do spoilers.
I don't know. I feel like a spoiler alert has to be kind of annoying. It can't be smooth because you have to like snap people out and get them to stop in time.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I like where you're going with this. So, I mean, we have the whirring flashlight, something that sounds like an ambulance coming through.
But that's so annoying that people will stop listening.
Yeah, it's a fine
There's
to walk. It's like the whole creepy line. Yeah, you know, you don't want to be too creepy. You don't want to be too annoying. You want people to continue to watch us and listen to us without going, oh my God, they're the most annoying people in the whole wide world.
We think we're wildly entertaining. So I don't know why anyone would think that.
Exactly. As long as I make myself laugh, well, why do I care if I make you guys laugh? Though, really, I do. I do want to entertain you. Don't be offended by that. Really, please don't.
I really do care if I'm making you laugh, so don't take that serious.
But no, I really do love you. I really do love you. Don't go away.
Yes, we have one person watching right now, and I'm like, Mom, is that you?
No, it's the child ghost from Melissa's book.
Okay, don't be creepy. Like, why? Like, I have a healthy belief. This is my logic. I believe in ghosts enough to not piss them off by not believing in them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like, I believe in them. I have because I don't want to like disrespect some ghost by not believing in them, and then all of a sudden my house is possessed and things are jumping out and opening and closing that do not have permission to open and close.
That's like saying I don't believe in Santa Claus, but I'm going to believe in Santa Claus because I don't want Santa Claus to bring me coal because I'm saying that I don't believe in Santa Claus.
And it makes perfect sense when you say it.
You see, there's more than one.
Okay,
actually, Alice in Wonderland. That is because I am a Mad Hatter and Michele is the March Hare.
No, what it actually is, it became crystal clear. It's
we have mystic logic.
It makes sense now. I don't believe in Santa, but I do, on the off chance that he might be real, I do believe in Santa because I don't want him to not bring me presents. I don't believe in ghosts, but I do on the off chance that they might be real and I don't want to piss them off. Don't look at me like that.
Your logic is dizzying.
It makes sense to me.
I feel like I'm talking with Vicini from The Princess Bride.
Well, I am Sicilian, so it should make sense to you. I'm speaking your language. It should make perfect sense. I'm like speaking your language right now.
Yes, I feel like the whole Vicini thing and your logic is just dizzying, and you should be like, but I'm just getting started.
But wait. No, but okay, so creepy ghost child who might or might not be watching our show. Welcome. Please don't.
Welcome to the madness that is our show, because it's hard without giving away spoilers. But trust us, this is a worthwhile book to pick up if you like mystery books. And we lost them. So hopefully we have a list of those who are listening to us.
Well, see, when Wendy's on the show in 2 weeks, not next Thursday, Thursday after, right?
Yeah, next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday. Yeah, today's 23rd.
No.
Today's August 23rd.
Oh, shoot, you're right. I am a week behind.
Oh yeah, you are.
Okay,
yeah, August
so when Wendy's on the show next Thursday.
Next week.
I will definitely have finished the book by then.
Mm-hmm.
By then, and we're just letting you guys know now, there's going to be spoilers like all over the place. Maybe I'll make a backdrop of the word spoilers. I won't.
We're going to just title the show The Spoilerific Evening with Wendy Straub.
Yes, we will. I think it's Staub. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
Like I said, I'm the only one who's been drinking tonight, so.
Hello. You froze.
Yes, I did, and so did you, at least on my end. My internet froze because my internet has been acting like crap tonight. So I think it is time that we call this evening a night.
Okay, but wait, before you go.
Okay.
I don't know if it can, but wait, there's more. I don't know. I kept talking after you froze, and your face froze in a very judgy face. And I took a picture of it, so I'm going to show it to you. That's how your face froze.
I love that face. Please share that on Instagram.
I will, because
for those of you who are listening to us.
I will post it on our Instagram. That was Diana judging me. All the judgment in one expression.
That is my judgy face, but I was not intending to be judgy to you because I'm never that judgy to you. I'm not that judgy. That judgy. No, I have been judgy because that's just me. I mean, if you're liking a show that I think is really stupid, I'm going to tell you.
I know.
And if you're doing stupid shit, I'm going to tell you. It's going to be your life and you're going to be able to go on doing your thing, but I will tell you you're doing stupid shit. But
a brief period of time in my life comes to mind.
Yes, and I did tell you that, and that's okay. You went ahead and you did your thing, and only once in our friendship have I told you so.
Yes, and that was at the end of that period.
No. It was not that period. It was another one.
Oh, I've done more than one stupid thing in my life. Well,
hello. There's a reason why we're friends. Because I have done stupid things in my life too. No, this is another incident regarding the coach purse and all of that stuff.
Okay.
That was the only time I told you so.
You're gonna have to text it to me because
I am gonna have to text it to you.
There are a couple things that come to mind.
Because we cannot discuss this on air technically.
No.
But it was a good reason for me to tell her I told you so. And it was the only time in our friendship that I told her I told you so. But otherwise, I'm not that judgy. At least, I mean, now in my old age, I try not to be.
As we get older, we might get a little judgier, but it's okay. We're entitled as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a good way. Not in like a super judgy, but like in a old lady.
I go the opposite way, I feel like now. Now I'm like, okay, well, that's going to turn out well for you. I'm just going to sit back, drink my wine, and laugh my ass off as things go wrong for you, but no judgment here.
Someone just woke up.
Okay.
I'm going to make this a sign to hold up whenever something weird is happening. That's what I'm going to do.
Share it on Instagram for our followers who are listening to us so that they can see my wonderful judgy face. But you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you next week with Wendy Staub on the show.
Yes, that's next week. Good night.
Yes. Good night.